Hi.
Hi.
Yep, we knew Mikey all his life. That's the nickname they gave Mike. Mikey! I remember we'd sit around and we'd watch Amos and Andy on TV all night, and all of a sudden, for no real good reason, Mikey would jump up and holler, "Does the name Ruby Begonia ring a bell?" That kid was always kidding around. He was a born actor.
Henry, tell him about the first time we took Mikey down the driveway of doom.
Oh, the driveway of doom. Oh, I almost lost the uppers on that one. Well, that driveway of doom. Yeah, that brings back a lot of memories. Boy, I tell you, I remember the first day we brought Mikey here. Now, you know, his parents were kidnapped by a band of roving black bears from Yellowstone Park, and we were his only blood relatives. So me and them says, what the hey, let's move them in. Oh, boy, I remember it was a bright, sunny morning, Sunday morning. We was sitting right here at this table having breakfast. And we was having the big tall glasses of chilled tomato juice, and we was sitting around waiting for our cream of wheat to harden. When all of a sudden the doorbell rang, and I suddenly get up to answer it, and it was orange juice. That was it. I thought it was tomato juice, but it was orange juice. Yeah, I'm sure it was orange juice. Yep, orange juice it was. Well, and all of a sudden the doorbell rings, and I get up to answer.
Henry, it was tomato juice.
What was tomato juice?
It was tomato juice you was drinking the day they brought Mikey here for the first time. It was tomato juice. Don't you remember anything?
I remember something. I remember I'm going to bust your head as soon as this interview is over. Now, don't interrupt me, woman. Where was I?
You was telling them how much you was enjoying the nice cold glass of tomato juice the first time they brought Mikey here.
Oh, now don't start, woman. Your interrupting me is raising my dander. Remember what happened last time? It took 6 weeks.
Excuse me, please. Uncle Henry, you were mentioning a driveway of doom. Could you explain that to us, please?
Oh, yeah. Well, you see, when they dropped Mikey off here, he was real scared. You know, he didn't know anybody, and well, we and Em and me only met him once at Uncle Waldo's funeral, and well, we welcomed him into our house with open arms. Em even made him a great big Spam sandwich. We knew he was going to be famous at one time, so we took a picture of the can before he ate it, and he signed it on the back. It said, "Give me the Spam, to hell with the noodles, Mikey." And boy, we'll never forget this. I carry this in my wallet all the time.
Hello, I'm William Todd Hunter Hall III. I've been asked to say a few words about Mickey Anthony. With my vast knowledge, superior mind, photographic memory, I'm a stickler for details. Talented beyond belief, actually. I could only come up with one word: sui generis. I think that about sums up Mickey. What? You want me to elaborate on that? Well, if I must, I must. I guess I'm the guy who knew Mickey the longest in this town. I was given the great privilege of writing his unauthorized autobiography. In it, I delved into his deepest thoughts, the little things that made him tick. If you'd like a copy of my book, send me $19.95, or autograph, $29.95 too. Well, I guess I can tell you where to send the money after I'm done talking about Mickey. Let me see. Well, he wasn't too tall. He had blonde hair. Blue eyes, I think. He absolutely craved tomato juice and Spam sandwiches. His favorite TV shows were, well, the Henny and Rocky Show, for one, starring Henny Youngman and Rocky Graziano. And, of course, the ever-popular The Hathaways, starring the Marquis Chimps. Favorite singers? Perry Como. He really loved Perry. Thought he was a wild and reckless guy. A real rebel, just like him.
fudge. Oh! Hello. My name is Althea Bancroft, and I was Peter's acting teacher. Oh, Peter. That was the nickname we had for Michael in my acting class. Peter, we always called him. I don't know why we ever gave him that nickname. Whenever we said the name Peter, he would come running, so I guess that had something to do with it. But anyway, the first production that Peter was in my class was a production of Shakespeare's Gay Boys in Bondage. Oh, yes, I remember. We got to the point in the play where Queen Fanny shouts out, my horse, a kingdom for my horse." And Peter stood up and in a full voice said, "Yonder lies the castle of my father's horse." Needless to say, Peter did not have very many more speaking roles in my class. However, we did cast him in the Fantastics. His next role was that of the ladder. Worst ladder I have ever had to put up with. I mean, he wiggled, he swayed, he sneezed, he scratched his butt. In the third act, where the woman's supposed to climb him, he moved, she fell off. He was a terrible klutz. But I must admit that even at his klutziest, no matter what he was doing wrong on stage, he had a certain energy, a stage presence, an air about him. Of course, the air could have had something to do with all those beans they fed him for breakfast. Well, you know, of course, that he was living with those two old fossils at the amusement park somewhere near a driveway of doom or something. Well, anyway, they used to send him lunches at school, and he would show them to me. I mean, we are talking things like Spam and peanut butter with pickle on whole wheat toast. Oh, one day it was chilled tomato juice with sardines. Oh, and then the pièce de résistance was the day that they sent him to school in a little thermos filled with chicken noodle soup without the noodles. Now, can you imagine that? What ding-dong woman would send a poor child to school with chicken noodle soup without noodles?
Why, there was a nothing that kid wouldn't eat.
No, Henry, that's not true. He didn't eat just anything. He was a picky eater, let me tell you.
Now, who do you think is talking, woman?
I am, so button your lip. I remember one time I was slaving over a hot stove all day. I was making my famous chicken noodle soup for supper, and then we sat down for supper, and I gave everybody their soup, and I gave Mikey his soup, and that little booger says, "Auntie Em, I don't like noodles. Would you take the noodles out of my soup?" And I said, "You little shit, you're gonna eat your noodles, sir."
Excuse me, please. It seems that we're running out of time, and we sure would like to hear more about that driveway of doom.
Well, to make a long story short, that little pecker would sit around all day moping and not saying boo to nobody. So me and Em says, "How to hell with this crap. Come on, Mikey, we're gonna go down the driveway of doom." Well, when we were through, he laughed and laughed and laughed. Why, he laughed so hard, he wet his pants. After that, we was the best of friends. Weren't we, Em?
What, Henry? Oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't listening. What'd you say?
I said we was the best of friends with that little shit, right?
Oh, right, yes.
Is it possible for us to view the driveway of doom?
Oh, sure. Right this way. Just follow me. Come on, Em.
I'm coming, Henry.